Vaparala, working in Municipal English Medium School, Narsapuram, West Godavari District, Andhra Pradesh. Students, have you come across people who always disagree with others around them and does exactly opposite of what others do? Such persons are called rebels. We are going to meet such rebel characters in this poem.
Learning objectives. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to tell opinions by discussing in small groups, like if you want to give something to the needy. Prepare and ask one another questions about likes or dislikes or preferences or hobbies or personal characteristics. Use the question and sentence openings to involve in the conversations. Recite and practice the poem from memory, paying attention to the rhyming scheme and rhythm. Categorize the actions of the rebel in the poem into those that go against societal norms and those that go with them. Summarize the rebel's attitude towards conformity in the poem. Explain the use of antonyms in the poem and how they contribute to the portrayal of the rebel's actions. The rebel. Students, do you know anyone who always disagrees with you or your friends, or likes to do the opposite of what everyone thinks they should do? Think of a word to describe such a person. Discuss with your partner some of the things such a person generally does. Students, are you curious to know the characteristics of the rebel mentioned in the poem? Okay, now let's read the poem The Rebel. Students, now I will show you three pictures. Let's look at them one by one and see what we understand from them. Look at this first picture. In this picture, we can see all are going in one direction and one is going in the opposite direction. Now look at the second picture. In this picture, all persons raised their right hand and only one person raised his left hand. Now look at the third picture. In this picture, all fish are going in one direction while one is going in the opposite direction. Thus, in all the pictures, we find one who thinks differently from the rest of the group. Do we have any name for such person who do not follow a group? Let's see in the next slide. So, children, I hope you have understood what such a person is called. Can you say it aloud? Yes, such person is called a rebel. Okay, rebel means a person who always disagrees with others, or a person who does exactly opposite of what others do. Now let's understand more about the rebel and his characteristics by going through the poem The Rebel. When everybody has short hair, the rebel let his hair grow long. When everybody has long hair, the rebel cut his hair short. Here, the rebel has cut his hair short where everyone has long hair. Seeing the pictures, we can understand clearly that the rebel styled his hair in opposite of the rest and wants to look different from them. So, rebel is a person who always does opposite of others. Now, let's see the next slide. When everybody talks during the lesson, the rebel doesn't say a word. When nobody talks during the lesson, the rebel creates a disturbance. Now, see here, when the teacher asks to discuss or speak in the class during the lesson, rebel does not speak a word. But when nobody is speaking in the class, the rebel starts disturbance. When everybody wears a uniform, the rebel dresses in fantastic clothes. Children, here is a new word, fantastic. Let us learn the meaning of it. Fantastic means informal or extraordinarily good or attractive. Now let us see what the picture conveys. Here, when everyone is in their uniform, the rebel is in informal dress. And when everybody wears fantastic clothes, the rebel dresses soberly. Soberly means in a serious and sensible way. Now, let us see what the picture conveys. Here you can see when all the children are dressed in extraordinary clothes, the rebel dressed himself in sober clothes. In the company of dog lovers, the rebel expresses a preference for cats. In the company of cat lovers, the rebel puts in a good word for dogs. Children, as you see in the above pictures, when the rebel is in the company of dog lovers, he expresses his interest for cats. In the company of cat lovers, the rebel puts in a good word for dogs. Puts in a good word means be supported to. So, when there are people who loves dogs, the rebel shows his preference to cats. He says that he likes cats. And when the company of cat lovers, he supports dogs and he would say he loves dogs. So children, see how the rebel changes his preferences as per the company he is in. Does he agree with them, children? No, he completely disagrees with them. Right, children? Okay, let's move on to the next slide. When everybody is praising the sun, the rebel remarks on the need for rain. See children, here the rebel even disagrees with his preference for climate. As we see in the picture, when everyone is playing in the sun happily, the rebel is more interested in rain and does not like to have the sun at all. When everybody is greeting the rain, the rebel regrets the absence of sun. Now, when it's raining, is he happy? No, not at all. What does he want now? Can you guess? Yes, you are right. Now, he needs the sun and he is completely sad as it's raining now. When everybody goes to the meeting, the rebel stays at home and reads a book. Here, in the picture, what is everyone doing? And what is the rebel doing? Yes, you are right, students. When everybody is in meeting, the rebel is relaxing at home and reading a book. When everybody stays at home and reads a book, the rebel goes to the meeting. As you see in the picture, when everyone is at home and reading books, the rebel is rushing to attend a meeting. Students, now let's see what is the rebel did in the poem. When everybody says, yes please, the rebel says, no, thank you. Students, look at the picture. When everyone is saying, yes please, the rebel is saying, no, thank you. When everybody says, no, thank you, the rebel says, yes please. Students, here also the rebel is saying exactly opposite of what others are saying. It is very good that we have rebels. You may not find it very good to be one. Students, according to the poet D.J. Enright, it is good to have rebels among us because they bring variety in the society. But, however, it is not good to be a rebel because they are not accepted by the society. Students, this is about the poem The Rebel. I think you have enjoyed this poem. Now, let's do the next activity, working with the poem. Working with the poem. Answer the following questions. The first question is, if someone does not wear a uniform to school, what do you think the teacher will say? Students, I think you have come across this situation many times, isn't it? What is your response? Okay, see the response. It is mandatory for students to come to the school with their uniforms. If someone does not wear a uniform to school, first the teacher will find out the reasons for not wearing uniform and then inform to his or her parents to send their children in uniform. Second question. When everyone wants a clear sky, what does the rebel want most? Answer. When everyone wants a clear sky, the rebel wants rain the most. Next question. If the rebel has a dog for a pet, what is everyone else likely to have? Answer is, if the rebel has a pet dog, everyone else is likely to have pet cats. Fourth question. Why is it good to have rebels? Answer is, it is good to have rebels because they always try to bring a change in the society. Next question is, why is it not good to be a rebel oneself? Answer is, the poet D.J. Enright concluded the poem by saying that it is very good to have rebels, but it is not good to be one because people are unfriendly towards them. Next question. Would you like to be a rebel? If yes, why? If not, why not? See answer. Yes, I would like to be a rebel because I want to be more creative and open-minded and always try to bring a change in the society. Find in the poem an antonym. Antonym means a word opposite in meaning for each of the following words. See children, here are some words. You have to find out the antonym for this. See, look at this. Long, short. Grow, cut. Quietness, disturbance. Sober, fantastic. Lost, found. Next activity. Find in the poem lines that match the following. Read both one after the other. The first one is, the rebel refuses to cut his hair. The rebel lets his hair grow long. Second one is, he says cats are better. the rebel expresses a preference for cats. Third one, he recommends dogs. For that, the rebel puts in a good word for dogs. Next one is, he is unhappy because there is no sun. For this, the rebel regrets the absence of sun. Last one is, he is noisy on purpose. For this, the rebel creates a disturbance. Students, now the next activity is working with language. Read the following sentences. Here 3 sentences are given. You have to read these 3 sentences. The first sentence is, if she knows we have a cat, Party will leave the house. And the second sentence is, she won't be so upset if she knows about the poor beggar with sores on his feet. And the third sentence is, if the chappals do fit, will you really not mind? Students, notice that each sentence consists of 2 parts. The first part begins with if. It is known as if clause. Students, rewrite each of the following pairs of sentences as a single sentence. Use if at the beginning of the sentence. Okay. Look at this. Walk fast, you will catch the bus. See, how did I write using if at the beginning as a single sentence? If you walk fast, you will catch the bus. Now look at the second one. Don't spit on the road. You will be fine. Here are 2 sentences. Don't spit on the road. One sentence. You will be fine is a second sentence. You have to use if at the beginning and rewrite it as a single sentence. Try to do it, students. See the answer. If you spit on the road, you will be fine. Now look at the third one. Don't tire yourself now. You won't be able to work in the evening. Try to write as a single sentence using if at the beginning, students. Look at it. If you tire yourself now, you won't be able to work in the evening. Very good, students. Now try to write some more sentences. Students, now look at a pair of sentences. Study regularly. You will do well in the examination. Try to join these 2 sentences using if at the beginning. Here the answer is, if you study regularly, you will do well in the examination. Now look at the another 2 sentences. Work hard. You will pass the examination in the first division. Same children, you have to join these 2 sentences and rewrite it as a single sentence using if at the beginning. Try to do it. Yes. If you work hard, you will pass the examination in the first division. Fourth one. Be polite to people. They will also be polite to you. Answer for this is, if you are polite to people, they also be polite to you. And next, don't tease the dog. It will bite you. Now join these 2 sentences using if at the beginning. See here. If you tease a dog, it will bite you. Okay, students? I think you have understood well if clause. Students, look at this paragraph. Here, you have to fill in the blanks in the following paragraph. Now I am reading it with answers. Today is Sunday. I am wondering whether I should stay at home or go out. If I go out, I'll miss the lovely Sunday lunch at home. If I stay for lunch, I'll miss the Sunday film showing at Archana Theatre. I think I'll go out and see the film only to avoid getting too fat. Students, now let us do another activity. Complete each sentence below by appropriately using any one of the following. Here, three options or three hints are given. What is the first one? If you want to. Second one is if you don't want to. And the third one is if you want him to. By using these three hints, you have to complete the sentences. Okay, let us look at the sentence. First sentence is, don't go to the theatre. What is the right option from the above three? Yes, if you don't want to. Now let us see the second one. He will post your letter. What is the appropriate hint from the above? Yes, if you want him to. Look at the third one. Please use my pen. Appropriate answer for this is yes, if you want to. Fourth one. He will lend you his umbrella. What is the appropriate hint for this, students? Look at this. If you want him to. Fifth one. My neighbor Ramesh will take you to the doctor. For this, which option you can use? Yes, if you want him to. The last one. Don't eat it. For this sentence, what is the appropriate answer from the above those three? Yes, students, if you don't want to. Very good. Okay, students, now let us see the next activity. Students, now look at the summary of the poem, The Rebel. In the poem, The Rebel, written by D.J. Enright, the poet talks about the characteristics of a rebel in the society. A rebel is a person who always disagrees with the people around them and does exactly the opposite of what others do. The author gives some examples to portray the behavior of a rebel. To quote one, when everybody goes to the meeting, the rebel stays at home and reads books. When everybody stays at home and reads books, the rebel goes to the meeting. Like this, the author gives a few other examples about the behavior of a rebel. In essence, the author wants to convey that the rebels try to be different from others. But it is very difficult to be a rebel as they are not liked or accepted by contemporary society. The lives tend to be very tough. As example, all of us know about Rajaram Mohan Rai, Kandukuri Veerasalingam, Galileo, etc. At the same time, it is essential to have rebels in society. Their nature of thinking differently and trying to do things differently helps society and mankind to develop. Students, I think you have understood the poem The Rebel. Now, you say, would you like to be a rebel? Students, you share your responses to your friends. Now, let's move with another activity. Students, read the poem The Rebel once again and answer the questions given for final assessment. The first question is, what does a rebel do when everybody has short hair? Second question. Who is the author of the poem The Rebel? Third one. According to the poet, what are the characteristics of the rebel? Fourth question. Why does the rebel creates disturbance during the class? Fifth question. It is very good to have rebels. Explain. Last question. What is the attitude of the rebel towards the sun and the rain? Okay, children. Hope you understood and enjoyed the lesson. I know that you will be able to answer all the questions very easily. Happy to meet you all. Let's meet in another lesson.